but that's not going to happen. All right, Gretchen.
Should illegal immigrants be getting free health care? It's the question the Gain of 8 can't answer, and now they're at an impasse. Congressman Raúl Labrador just dropping out of the group, and he joins me now. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning, Gretchen.
Many people would argue illegal immigrants are already getting free health care. So what would be the difference if you agreed to give it to them now?
Well, the problem is that we're trying to fix the immigration system. I think we have a broken system. I think we need to do something with the 11 million people that are here. I think we need to do something about future flow. And most importantly, we need to do something about border security so we don't have this problem again. One of the biggest magnets to the United States for people coming here illegally is that they're getting free services. And I think that's one of the things that we need to fix with this program. We need to make sure that people that are legalized, the newly legalized aliens, do not receive public benefits. The American people won't stand for them receiving public benefits. And I think that's one of the fights that we're having here in Congress.
So you were part of the Gain of 8. You've walked away as a result of this one specific issue. Are we to understand that the remaining members of the Gain of 8 disagree with you? They were all in agreement that Obamacare should be given to illegals?
No, what they decided to do is to punt on the issue. They decided to not address the issue in the legislation, and I think not addressing the issue by default leads you to Obamacare. But I don't think there was any agreement that they should receive Obamacare. And just by the way, I don't call it a gang of 8. It's a group of 8. My mother told me never to join any gangs, so I decided not to call it a gang.
I agree with you. I don't like the terminology either. Let's move over to the NSA discussion, because I see that you're quoted all over the place this morning, saying that you have suggested to other members of Congress that you believe that members of Congress should have more access to classified information. You said this quote, "I hate it when we ask a question and hear, well, that's classified." What do you mean by that? And were you, in fact, and other members of Congress invited to look at this NSA program last year, but people just simply didn't show up?
No, we were invited to look at some of the information. We actually showed up. I've been to numerous classified hearings. But the problem that happens is that when you go to a classified hearing, they just give you very peripheral information. They give you some information about the program. They tell you, for instance, that they're looking at metadata. But you never imagine as an American and as a U.S. congressman that they're looking at every phone record of every American. You look at Jim Sensenbrenner, who was the drafter of the Patriot Act, and he says that when he drafted the Patriot Act, he never imagined that the U.S. government was going to do what the U.S. government is doing with this information right now. So I think it's a little bit misleading when they say that they have given you all this information.
And I understand your point. But let me ask you this, because there's been this huge debate in the country, and I actually think separating our country, unfortunately, of what to call this Edward Snowden leaker. Is he a traitor or is he a hero in your mind?
You know, I don't think he's a hero, and I don't think that anybody should call him a hero. I think he violated the law. I think they need to prosecute him. But I think now that we know this information and that it's out in the public, I think it's good that we're having this debate. Yeah. I think it's important for us as members of Congress to do that.
But, Congressman, what does it do about national security? We saw the testimony yesterday by the general who said, look, we thwarted dozens of attacks because we had this surveillance program, and now we're left with basically nothing.
But every time you ask specifics about those attacks, and that's why I'm asking for a classified briefing and classified debate, because what happens when you go to these briefings is that they lecture you, but you don't really have the opportunity to have a debate about what's happening. Every time we have asked about this information, what they tell you is that they already knew about these attacks, or they knew that there was something being plotted. Well, the law allows you to go after somebody who you suspect of committing a crime. So I don't think you need to have this broad search of information of American citizens.
Okay. Congressman Labrador from Idaho. Great having you as a guest today. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Coming up on the show, they're two of the most